Hey guys, it's Lauren here from Laura's Leaves, and today I am back with another houseplant collection. So today in this video, I want to go over one of the types of houseplants that I first started out with when I really got into the hobby. The plant I want to go over today, or the genus, the type of plant I want to discuss today, is Syngoniums. Syngoniums are commonly known as the arrowhead vine. None of mine are vining yet. I hope that they'll vine eventually because trailing and vining plants are like my jam. I love it. I love the aesthetic. Super cool. They're very easy to propagate. I'll show you on one of my plants. You just propagate at a node, stick it in some water. My favorite method for propagating is water propagation. It's always worked for me, and I've had no issues with it. So you can cut it at a node, stick it in some water, and add it to your existing plant to make it more lush and full, or you can make more plants for friends, family, or yourself. We all need more plants, right? Very easy house plant, very beautiful. They come in lots of different varieties, and it's a really great starter plant for someone who's just starting out with houseplants and trying to get the knack for how to take care of them. So the first Syngonium I want to talk about today is a very common one, and this is the white butterfly Syngonium Pota Phylum. Now, I have this pulled about 10 feet back from a south-facing window, so it doesn't get very much light in my front room, but it does just fine. Syngoniums prefer bright indirect light, medium to bright indirect light, but they can do well in low light situations. But this one, like I said, I have pulled about 10 feet back, and if I did have it in higher light, it would probably be more white on the leaves. And you can tell that I have it sitting this way, because when I turn the plant, you can tell that it's leaning towards the light. It wants more light. Now, something cool about Syngoniums is that they're very easy to propagate. And you can see right here, this was a piece that I actually cut off right up in there. And I rooted it in water for a month, maybe a month and a half, and I put it back into the pot. I think, though, when I up-potted this, I went a little too big, but that's all right. It's still growing really well. It's pushing off new growth here, over there. So I will probably just leave this in this pot for this coming season, leave it in here for another year, maybe two, we'll see. The next one in my collection is, I believe this is the Pink Illusion Syngonium. You can see the pink veins within the leaves. And this beautiful planter. You can tell this sits right in front of my south-facing window. It's a lot of bright light, and it does not get burnt. It's doing pretty well, but you can tell that all the leaves are facing towards the window. So be sure to rotate your plants. I try to rotate them once a week, every 2 weeks, just to keep them lush all the way around. Very easy grower. This one is the one that gets the most water in my collection. My animals are running out in the hallway, causing mischief out there. Anyways, this is the one that gets the most water or needs the most drinks in my collection. I'm sure that's because it does sit right in the south-facing window and gets a whole heck of a lot of sun. And you can I think this one needs watering right now. The soil's very dry, the pot's very light. And it looks pretty good on camera, but in person, it's looking a little peaked. And you can kind of tell once you get to know your plants what they'll look like when they are in true need of water. And this one has even wilted all the way down, and I'm like, I went way too long without watering, gave it a drink, and within 4 to 5 hours it did perk back up. By the next day it was back to its normal self. So they kind of talk to you. They'll let you know when they need some water. The next Syngonium in my collection, and this one's probably the one I struggle with the most, and that is the Neum Robusta. This one just grows a little weird for me. That was due to my cat. Don't mind that leaf. They just look weird. I don't know if I'm not giving it enough humidity. Syngoniums do love humidity. They will grow faster for you if they are in a humid environment, but they're not that temperamental. They'll just grow slower if they're in an environment that is not as humid. So I did move this one to this room because I do run humidifiers in here, and since my door is closed, the humidity remains in this room, where when I have them running in the house, it kind of disperses throughout the whole house, so the humidity levels don't rise dramatically. So I moved in here to see if it would help, and I do see some new growth coming in down there, right there behind that, and he just grows kind of weird. And I'm not a big fan of pink, but there are not many plants that have full pink leaves, so I got it for $4, $5. Most of all my Syngoniums started out as 4-inch nursery pots from big box stores and local nurseries around where I live, and that's how they all started, and they're all growing well. What is next? My next up, and this one's my favorite, is the Syngonium green Variegata. Now this is very similar to the Syngonium Pota Phylum elbow Variegata, and the variegation does eventually turn white, but it starts out this awesome lime green, kind of like the molted Syngonium. I ordered this one offline. It also came in a 4-inch pot. It came in great shape, and when I finally did repot it, a couple pieces fell out from inside here, and I've already created a plant for a friend, and I have 2 propagations going, so that's awesome. And I have this in this room as well to get the extra humidity. It sits up on this shelf over here, and it doesn't get a whole lot of light from the window because our days are still short here in Michigan due to winter. But is there a grow light with it? No, there's not even a grow light under it, and it still does really well. And I feel like I should move it closer to the window just so it can maintain the variegation. I think I might do that, but he's growing really nicely. Look at that. I love these 2 leaves. This one has some damage, but super cute. What's next? Next is an unnamed Syngonium. It has a name, I just don't know it. So if anyone knows, please let me know. Is this one. This came from a cutting from my mom's plant. My mom likes to share her plants with me. Now this Syngonium is like heart leaf shape. It's so cute. It's a little more chunky. I like him. I don't know why it's a him. I think most of my plants are hims. I don't know. But he's cute. If anyone knows what this Syngonium is called, let me know. I tried to use my Google Lens and have it figured out for me, but it told me it was a pink illusion, but I think the other one's a pink illusion. I might have them confused. I'm no expert. I just know that Syngoniums are beautiful, and I wanted a cutting, and I got it, and it's cute. It's cute little. All right, we have two left. I think this is another one of my favorites. This was found at Home Depot, and this is a holly Syngonium. And I haven't had this one that long, so I don't have too much to report. I do know that the lighter colored Syngoniums need to be closer to the light so they can maintain their lighter color, similar to the white butterfly I showed you at first. It's more green now. It would maintain more white if I had it closer to some brighter indirect light, but like I said, I have it 10 feet back from a window, so it's kind of gone to that different green color that it's not supposed to look like that, but that's okay. So this one I do keep closer to a window, and this one is just gorgeous. I love this one. My holly Syngonium, and it's got like a darker green outer edge. Super cool. And last, but certainly not least, which I just got this not that long ago, and I bought a Singhania Morandi. It reminds me of a mix between the holly and the white butterfly. I feel like if those two were to make babies, this is what it would look like. But something I think is unique about this one is that the leaves are a little more narrow. And now it might just look like that because this is such a small plug. So I will have to wait until it matures to really know what it's going to look like. I've done some Googling, but haven't found too much about it. But super cute. Little. I like it. Now, some basic care tips for Syngoniums. Like I've mentioned, they prefer medium to high light, bright and direct light. What really is bright and direct light? But they will survive and do moderately well in low light situations. They're very low maintenance plant. They're easy to maintain. They don't need a whole lot of water. I'll usually lift up the pot. If the pot's super light, I'll give it a drink. I keep a lot of plants in saucers like this. Not this one in particular because all my Syngoniums are way too small for this size of saucer. But if I have them in the plastic saucer, sometimes I'll just fill that up and bottom water them, or I'll water them normal from the top as well. It just depends on my mood, how big of a rush I'm in. But I let mine dry out completely and then water them. I don't let the soil stay moist or anything. I typically let them dry out completely, and all of them have done pretty great for me. So that's what I do. I do tend to keep them on the drier side during winter though. I will, obviously, in the summer, they're getting more light. It's warmer out. They're going to need more water. So I keep them drier in the winter, more water in the summer. And in the summer is when I'll typically fertilize. But I don't always fertilize all my plants. I usually forget. And this past summer is when I started fertilizing. I went a couple years with houseplants and I never fertilized. And they did just as fine, just as well. And they really do love humidity. They will grow better. They will grow faster in, 50% or higher. But they're low maintenance. If you don't have that type of humidity in your house, it's fine. They'll grow. They might grow a little slower, but no big deal. I missed all my plants. I'm sure that don't help. It's just therapeutic for me. I do it to most of my plants, except for the plants that don't like water on their leaves. And it hasn't hurt anything yet. I like to mist. It brings me to my zen place. Hey guys, it's future Lauren here. Apparently I zenned out just a little too much because I forgot to film an outro. So I'm back to say thanks for sticking through this video and checking out my Syngonium collection with me. Let me know what you thought. And I'm back to say thank you. Thank you to those who come back each time I upload a video. Thank you for leaving comments and just being a part of this journey with me. I love you guys, and hopefully I will see you back here in my next video. I'll talk with you guys later. Bye-bye. Sucker for Syngoniums. Right, Brad? I'm a sucker for Syngoniums. I'm a sucker for Syngoniums. What's this plant? Let's plant this. Do you know? How come my mom don't know? She's the one who bought it. Come on, Mom. But it's all love.